to hear you say that 2020 was sort of an inflection point for you, it doesn't surprise me because it was, I look, I mean, God, it wasn't that long ago, Jake, but that was a very, very, very strange year, and things I feel like have just gotten progressively worse since then.
No, I truly believe, and not to be overly dramatic, but I think 2020 was a turning point year for our country. In a
Me
lot of
too.
ways, the social contract was broken irreparably. I mean, even in red states, in places like Arkansas, we had casinos and strip clubs and liquor stores were open, but churches and schools and businesses were closed. And like that's the kind of thing that people want to just kind of forgive and forget. You got people like Fauci out there who are saying, oh, we just got to let bygones be bygones. Like, no, we haven't even addressed, like we haven't even begun to address what happened. And that's a
Completely
subject
agree.
for a different podcast probably.
I
But that's what really motivated me to get involved, is because clearly our political leaders are failing. They were, especially on the GOP side, in my opinion, in these deep red areas, they were totally unequipped to meet the moment. I mean, for a lot of recent American history, unfortunately, we have outsourced political leadership in our republic to people who are just not equipped for bold and courageous leadership. They're just kind of middle managers. And that's fine when things are on the glide path, and we're the last industrial power standing after the destruction of World War II. Yeah, I mean anyone could run America and things would be fine. But those days have passed, and now we're at a point where we need great leadership, and we have people who are in power who are totally unequipped, just constitutionally, for what's necessary. And so, it has been good to see people who kind of have that leadership gene, if you will, striving to get involved in politics. It's really hard to break into that, as you and I know, and other great candidates across the country who were unsuccessful in the past couple of cycles. Hopefully there will be other opportunities for other good people to run in the future. But these people, these politicians, the career political class, and the consultants and the media and everything that's kind of in conservative ink, as we call it, they're not going to let go easily. This is their life's work. I mean, they've built up these institutions to enrich themselves, to give themselves self-esteem, kind of a semblance of meaning. These are the kind of the people who I call the nerds. The people who were getting stuffed in lockers in high school. This is their thing. Like, politics is their thing. This is kind of it's a revenge of the nerds situation, and they're not going to let the real leaders take away what they think is rightfully theirs. So it's going to be hard. I mean, that was one of the benefits, I think, of Trump getting involved and obviously winning in 2016, was he kind of changed that dynamic at the national level. But we've got to change that dynamic at every level of politics, local, district-wide, and statewide. So it's an ongoing process. It's going to be a brutal process. It already has been. It's hard sometimes to stay optimistic about it, but I firmly believe that God put us here in this time, in these circumstances, for a reason. And it might have to get worse before it gets better. But I've made a commitment. I'm going to stay engaged in this fight. I know you will too, because we need good people. It's revival or bust in America.